Critical Cinema presents Who Killed Captain Alex? The review. And DJ Emmy on the mic. Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of Critical Cinema. This episode, we're going to be looking at Uganda's first action film known as Who Killed Captain Alex. Now, in this amazing film that was made with such a low budget, it doesn't really compare to the big movies of Hollywood via like the special effects, the quality, or so you think. But when we get into an in-depth look at this, will it actually be matching the level that they do, and yet done it on a lower budget? I don't know. We'll find out. And with that, I am joined by my co-host, Justin Smith, who will be helping us, just like episode and throughout this whole entire season, on analyzing these films. So, Justin, welcome to the show.
Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Justin here, with another African movie, as we do out here.
That is true. Very true out here. That's what we do. All right.
That's what we do.
So before we start, because we usually start with watching a trailer, right, guys? But this time, since there is no official trailer from the makers of this movie, we're going to be watching a little bit of behind the scenes to get an idea of it. And then after that, we'll see what we think this movie's going towards and how we think we rate it, a pre-rating like we did in episode 1. And we'll start with the movie and go into a rating after that. So, let's get started.
Rescue team.
Holy body!
The Tunnel of Benon. I was inspired by Bruce Lee and Chinese movies. I love Kung Fu. I do Kung Fu with these children. Kung Fu is good for body health. Discipline. Helps the body.
Thank you for coming. We are going to be here for some training. Clap your hands.
My name is Alan Hoffmanis, or Alan Sali, as I am here in Uganda. I saw 90 seconds of Who Killed Captain Alex, Uganda's first action movie, on YouTube. And 2 weeks later I came to Uganda, tracked down who made the film. Did you know that? She did not know that. So I sold everything I had. I left my apartment in Manhattan, and I moved into Hollywood. And somehow I became a Ugandan action movie star.
Got it! Hello! A new warrior on the block. Alan is Sali in action! America's best action star.
Okay, Isaac, how many films have you produced?
I don't know. Exactly, I don't know. But I think there are over 40 movies.
40 feature-length movies.
Yeah. They are loved here, very much loved. The trailers are popular all over the world. I get calls from Finland, Brazil, Denmark, Europe, America.
So how do we see it now? Like, if we want to see Captain Alex, is it possible?
Captain Alex is out for free.
Right now?
Yes, you can watch it for free.
Anyone can watch it?
Yes, for free.
Well, what do? We need to watch this.
Yeah, you should. It's art, you have to. Yeah.
Isaac, with the Kickstarter, what are you hoping for? What do you want to do?
I want to make a movie, the best movie that the world has ever seen, the craziest one, with helicopters, tanks, machine guns. I want to, destroy the whole world with that movie. And that movie is Tabat Sasula Ebola.
Ramon Film Productions, not playing Rabuli job.
Tabat Sasula is loved. This time it's going to be Tabat Sasula Ebola. I tell you, it's going to be the whole world.
And anyone can be part of it?
Yeah, everyone can be part of it from your home.
You just shoot yourself dying, and it'll put you in the movie.
Yeah, you just, you're dead, and then you bring it to us.
So you're saying you could be a Ugandan action movie star without leaving your home?
Yeah. Without leaving your home, you can be a superstar, a Ugandan superstar from your home. If you want your head be blown off, it's okay. If you want your stomach, it's okay. It's okay, just join. And whoever is willing to do anything, please join the fun. Join the club.
How much money do we need?
I think $160.
To do a full action film.
Yeah. It will be enough with the support of people dying, something like that. It's enough. It's enough.
Coming soon. Expect the unexpected.
So what we're asking for with the Kickstarter is $160, and that's how much what Hollywood needs to produce an action film. However, anything we get above that goes right back into the studio, and there's so many things that we need from
the equipment, the computers,
software, microphones,
and anything that helps with electricity. Power is a problem here.
But we also looking for anyone who may also want to help behind the camera.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you are a technician, if you are special effects or sound engineer, or even publicity, and want to help build a Ugandan action movie studio in the heart of
Hollywood. Hollywood. Thank you for loving Hollywood.
Please join.
That was definitely actually amazing. I'm gonna honestly say that. It's like, if you think about it, we in America, we have to buy all of our things, all of our equipment for the films, but like these guys just built it out of what they had, which is amazing.
Yeah, he literally had to build his computer from like scraps that he found, and even then his electricity wasn't consistent. Sometimes it would be off for like weeks at a time. And every time he finished a movie, he had to delete it from his hard drive so he had more space to make another one.
Wow. That's crazy. That's real dedication and love for film right there, for sure.
Yeah. Really impressive what they managed to do.
Honestly is. That's amazing. And if you guys want to support them in any way, shape, or form, we will have links to their YouTube and such below in the comments of this video. But with that, with what we've seen so far, just from that little behind the scenes of Hollywood, what do you think this movie's going to be like? Do you think it's going to be a masterpiece? Do you think it's going to be average? Do you think it's going to be What are you thinking here? Because it's kind of hard to rate it compared to the movies we have in the U.S.
In terms of like so bad it's good movies, I've seen this movie before, and I think it's so good. It's one of the greatest so bad it's good movies of all time, because it goes beyond being bad into just straight up good category.
Oh,
It's
wow.
actually just a really genuinely good movie.
And like, I'm just gonna say personally, from what I've already seen, the ingenuity that they're putting into this is insane, and I cannot wait to see how they problem solved all these things when we see this movie, for sure. It's gonna be something.
This is Captain Alex, Uganda's best soldier. Only Alex can stop the mafias and kill them forever.
Okay, I forgot to mention VJ Emmy is in this movie. He's it stands for Video Joker. It's one of the only movies ever made to have one, and he just talks over the whole movie the entire time. No other version of this movie exists without him, and honestly, I wouldn't want to watch that version anyways. He's so amazing.
Oh my goodness. Like, I know, okay, so look guys, I know you're gonna wait 30 minutes and talk about this, but it's been what, 3 minutes? 3 minutes and 34 seconds, and I had to stop. We had to stop. Oh my goodness. It's something so far. Immediately I noticed the handmade weapons, and just like the comments, they're making a base camp, and it's just like, what, a base camp for soldiers, and yet they want a football section? What? I'm very confused.
And dancing girls.
Dancing girls, like, what?
And I love how you said, no, I prefer men. And I was like, what?
It's just,
I love,
it's so good
I
so
love
far.
brightly colored plastic scuba gear that they're wearing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness.
Like just like real soldiers.
And then when they're like, our village is a very tiny village, and then the guy, the DJ comments, he's like, no, it's beautiful, the best in the world, and it's like, okay, thanks for your comments.
Oh my god, he's so funny. Like he says some unbelievably dumb stuff like for no reason. Like you'll see.
Okay, guys. Okay, so we literally went like 10 more seconds and we have to pause again. Like, oh my goodness. Like, they say we're cooking German food. And he's like, German food? Yeah, German food. We found some German tourists and now we're cooking them.
Yeah, one of them said, "Save me the head."
What in the world? This film, guys. 10 out of 10. So far, 10 out of 10 comedy-wise. Oh, it's so good. Alright, guys. Okay, so we originally said we were gonna just like, like every 30 minutes. Forget that, scratch that. We're just gonna pause whenever. 'Cause there's gonna be a lot of commentary. First off, Justin's got an amazing fact about the drinks in that scene. Justin, you wanna tell him?
Oh, the drinks aren't actually real drinks. It's paint mixed with water. Like the paint that they use to make some of the equipment and sets they use, they just mixed it with water because they couldn't afford real drinks.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's one way to do it. If you guys watch, there are shots where they go like to drink, like seriously, in the background. It's something.
Soldiers, but they are surrounded by the enemy.
Okay, we gotta stop. We gotta talk about that. Oh my goodness.
The first action scene.
Alright, guys.
Oh my God.
Okay, so we're about to get into the first action scene. Operation.
It's called Operation Cut Tiger's Balls.
Yes, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be something. But I mean, wow. I mean, the makeup was pretty good in that last fight scene. But like the end where the last shot is just he throws champagne or the paint water bottle at the girl behind the counter. It's just so random, but it's funny.
Yeah, and the way it's edited too, just like explodes
all over the wall.
And that transition though.
Yes, it's just like, yeah, well, this makes poof. Now you're in a totally different location with totally different things happening. My goodness. All right. Okay, so let's get back into this. Let's go, guys. It's been 9 minutes in, and they've reminded us. Have to remind us what movie we're watching, because the line is, "Who killed Captain Alex?" The production in action. And this is the movie, and it's like things. It's like watching Star Wars and being like, by the way, this is Return of the Jedi, just to make sure you knew what you were watching when you clicked watch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, VJ Emmy does this many times over the course of the film, like sometimes several times at once in one scene.
Oh, this is gonna be...
It never stops getting fun either.
Guys, this is comedy of the year right here. Comedy of the year.
Mercenary Commando.
The reason why they have a guy in a Spider-Man mask is because he's one of the same actors who plays one of the commandos.
Oh, so they can have more actors.
Yeah, they just put him in a mask because he's a bad guy.
I mean, oh my goodness. Like the guy's going to the bathroom. They ambush him and goes, "Oh no, super kicker!" Like, what? What's going on?
That was the first time he said hello in the movie. He'll say it way like too many times.
Or
the first time.
Oh my god, it's like when they're pushing away the car. If you guys look on the second shot of them pushing away the car, it's moving a lot faster than the first time. If you look closely, the backlights are slightly on, as in the daytime mode. The car is actually driving, and they're just pushing alongside it.
Yeah, I don't even know why they need to do that. They're tough commandos. Why don't they just sneak around?
Yeah, because they need to push the car away. There's no escape now. They could have just shot the wheels, but like, why would they're tough commandos? They don't do it that way. They push until they find a cliff.
Yeah, even better, they could have just taken the knife and just popped the tires.
No, but that's the easy way out. They're tough.
Or even better, they could use their tough commando strength to squeeze the air out of the tire.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Everybody in Uganda knows Kung Fu.
Oh, that's quite an assumption.
That is one of the many classic lines from this movie.
Guys, if you go to Uganda, be careful. Everybody knows Kung Fu. You should ask anyone there. They know Kung Fu.
Also, if you're German, do not visit.
No. They will cook you. German food.
And they will save your head.
Delicious.
A master from southern hemisphere of Uganda. Ugandan Bruce Lee. We call him Bruce U.
So, next section here that we're going to talk about, Bruce Lee, or should I say, Uganda's Bruce U. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's definitely some, actually some pretty good choreography with fighting here. It's obviously speed ramped, but, oh my goodness, that's a classic line of, we call him Bruce U, not Bruce Lee. It's from the southern hemisphere of Uganda.
He's Ugandan Bruce Lee.
Man. He do got the kicks though. Even if I don't know if they even make contact, but yeah, you know, he's got the kicks.
I love how the Tiger Mafia boss just slaps everyone around like super hard.
He's got super slap.
He just slaps dudes so hard that they like spontaneously bleed.
Yep, it's a superpower. We got Super Slapper. We got Bruce U. We got Mercenary. We got Captain Alex. Oh man, the fighters keep stacking. Guys, when you're doing hostages, just a word to the wise. Oh my goodness, like in the movie, it's around 45 minutes into it. So like they just start talking about they have these hostages. He wants his brother, and he's trying to get him back. Just start shooting them on TV one after that. Like usually in a hostage situation, I mean, just personally, just thinking on this, you leave them, and you say like in every hour I'm gonna kill someone else or something like that, depending on how many you have. But he just goes, I'm gonna kill him if you don't give him. No, give him now. Pop, 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 and just shoots them all. It's like, now you don't have hostages. Nothing to bargain with.
Yeah, great strategy.
Very, very unique. It's gonna throw them for a loop. You know?
Yeah, I also like how the name of the studio, like the new studio, is Roman TV.
Oh yeah, just like their studio.
Yeah, like the company who made the movie itself, Roman Film Productions.
That's just really funny.
She was caught watching Nigerian movies. This is Uganda. We watch Wakaliwood.
But that flashback though, flashback, bro. Oh my goodness, torture. Let's talk about that torture methods.
Yeah, just take a bucket of water and throw it at her.
That's crazy. I mean, that's intense. I mean, who wants to see that? The bucket of water. Yeah, that'll get anybody talking, you know. Some frigid, ice cold water. So immediately, next scene, guys. Oh my goodness, it shows the new military commander, and yes, VJ, you know, he introduces him as the new military commander, and he goes, he fights drugs, and uses drugs. I can't.
VJ, I mean, it's killing
it. Dude, he makes this movie. He makes it what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad that there isn't any other version of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only version worth watching.
The Mafia's plan is to steal a helicopter and bomb the city to distract the police from what they're doing. That is a super terrible plan.
And shall I add that they're also in the city? So, like, it makes it even better. Oh my goodness. And, like, guys, think that through. Oh my goodness. And, like, But don't worry, we got VJ on the MIC. I don't know why.
We got VJ Emmy on the MIC. We were watching Who Killed Captain Alex. Who Killed Captain Alex is the movie.
Don't forget it, because we reminded you like 12 times during the movie that what you're watching is Who Killed Captain Alex. Don't forget that.
Probably made in Uganda. Nate, Hollywood, Uganda.
Yes, don't you forget it.
Now you're about to see real action.
Yeah, let's see
This is
some
how we
real
do action in Uganda.
Dinosaurs. Commando.
Okay, first of all, I just noticed he's wearing a marijuana leaf bandana, and then VJ comments dinosaurs over all the birds.
Because it's guys, it's a field of birds.
Tiger Mafia.
So wow. Let's talk about that before we get into the movie itself. Let's talk about that end fight scene. Man, that was chaotic.
That was crazy. That was so chaotic. Really, just explosions and gunfire and stuff going on everywhere.
Oh,
VJ kept screaming in Ugandan language, just cutting in out of the audio every 2 seconds.
And he would cut for like 3 seconds, then he'd come back in again. It was something.
Honestly, that fight scene was more chaotic than the entire ending fight scene of Rogue One.
Yeah. There was bullets everywhere. The camera kept changing angles so fast. Dude.
There's so many reused actors dying over and over.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, when the camera turns away, stand back up and get moving again. I mean, it worked, though.
Yeah, that was epic.
That was one crazy film. Wow. Definitely not supposed to be a comedy, but it's a comedy.
Yeah, it seems like it wasn't intentionally going to be a comedy, but they added VJ Emmy to make it into a comedy.
Yeah, and it worked. Oh my goodness. He's hilarious, guys. He's hilarious. It's better than most comedy movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, like, instead of watching whatever garbage comedy movie comes out nowadays with a famous celebrity to help advertise the movie, and, funding these people millions upon millions of dollars just watching these boring, not funny, generic movies, you can instead support people in countries like this who are really passionate about the movies that they want to make and making like really entertaining and hilarious to watch movies.
And don't forget, guys, their YouTube will be linked in the description of this video if you guys want to go check it out.
And their Patreon.
Yeah, and their Patreon, guys. Like, it's amazing. So let's get to rating this movie. So we got, since last episode, we added another standard that we can check them by. So here's what we're going to be evaluating the movie by. First off is cinematography. Next up is character development, visual effects, sound effects, set, lighting, and costumes all put into one, and then film score. So let's start with cinematography. What are your thoughts on cinematography, Justin?
Well, considering that they had like garbage cameras and that's all they had to use, I don't think they even had like cell phones to use to film it. They had to use like sort of like camera, and that's all they had.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see on like many of the shots, they had like a single drop of water in one spot on the shot. It was like right about there.
Yeah.
On every single shot for like 50 shots. So, I mean, it was kind of well filmed for what it was.
Definitely.
Like there were certain shots that were actually pretty well shot. Like the shot where the guy is crawling down and then it like pans down and zooms in. That's
it was pretty good at some points. I like with what they had, they did amazing on it. Like obviously it's no 2001: A Space Odyssey, but like it's still with the ingenuity that they had. And if you guys look at the behind the scenes like we did, like it's insane to see what they used to create this movie. I'd say the cinematography was like it's not stellar, but it's an amazing use of what they could do. So out of 5 stars, 5 being the best cinematography out there, 0 being there's no cinematography. What would you rate this?
Maybe like 3.5.
Yeah, I was thinking like 3.5 as well. So 3.5 stars for cinematography. Next up is character development. Do we think they developed the characters enough? Personally, I don't. I think they moved, except for VJ Emmy. They just moved around so fast there was no real character development.
Yeah, especially Captain Alex, he just died within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That was like the whole big premise of the movie. Who killed Captain Alex?
And do we even know? I don't think so.
No. So it's like, in a way, like 2001: Space Odyssey, you don't know what happened.
Get a little bit of mystery there. In the comments, guys, in the comments, we do want you to do this. We want to see your theories on who killed Captain Alex. What are your thoughts? Who do you think did it? And then put your evidence down there, and we'll check on see what you guys did, for sure, because like we want to hear that. So
also
character.
The word hello.
So out of character development, 5 being the best, 0 being there's none. Where do you rate this?
Honestly, maybe like 2.5, because the character development wasn't that important, but if it was stronger, it would have helped out the movie a little bit more. But it's like not that big of an issue at the same time, so I'll just give it 2.5.
Yeah, I was thinking like a 2.5 range, so that sounds good. Visual effects. Oh boy, visual effects. Okay, so I'd say obviously their technology is limited, and so taking it from that aspect, they actually had some pretty advanced stuff. Like I noticed that because I'm a visual effects guy myself, I noticed like the gunfire effects weren't just like like the blood. When they did the blood, it was a stock footage, but with the visual effects of the guns, the particles I could see simulated particles, and they looked different every gunshot almost. Like not absolutely different, but like somewhat different. So they look like they were hand done.
Yeah, we have to give them props. We have to give them props on the visual effects, considering the situation that they're in, or at any point that like their village can get attacked, or they don't have like constantly running electricity all the time. Sometimes they'll go without weeks electricity, and considering that they made the computer out of scrap parts, they might not even have like very good internet there. So like they did great for what they did.
Absolutely.
Especially with little details. The director said the reason why the helicopter shoots from behind it is because he actually experienced helicopters that shoot from behind himself. Because he and his brother at one point had to outrun a helicopter. They had to like run in front of it because it shot from behind, so they didn't get shot by it. That's why he made the helicopter shoot from behind, because he personally had to deal with one of those himself.
Wow, that's definitely using your lifetime experience for your movies. That's crazy. Crazy environment.
Yeah.
So out of 5 being the best visual effects you've ever seen, and 0 being they were terrible. What do you think? I'm thinking like with what they had, I give them like a 3.5 or to a 4. Like it's
honestly,
not like the best
like
I've ever seen, but like with what they had, judging it from there, that's pretty good.
Yeah. You can't just like judge all these movies that we're gonna review on like the same basis. Like, this movie is made as like a barely tiny budget. 2001 had a pretty moderate budget first day, and like other movies are gonna have way higher budgets but still have terrible visual effects. But considering like that the situation this movie was in, judging it by its own merit, I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that sounds perfectly done. Like, and the fact that they did this on a $200 budget is insane. Like, it's crazy.
On a computer built from scrap parts.
Cameras, rigs built from car parts. It's just, go watch the behind the scenes, guys. It's crazy. So yeah. Next up, we got sound effects. And honestly, I'm gonna have to rate this pretty high. Ignoring VJ Emmy. He's a great added sound effect to it though. Like, but ignoring him, like the gunfire, the explosion sound effects, like those were spot on. They sounded realistic, and they weren't like the same exact one every single time. It changed. It was different. When you heard different guns. So I actually give him really good props for that.
Yeah, the sound effects were surprisingly good, other than the fact that VJ Emmy kept cutting into the sound effects, screaming in Ugandan language.
Yeah, honestly, when I look at sound effects, I think of it from like a two standpoints. One, is it like crisp? Like, is there any background noise? And two, like, do they keep in the small details? And I wouldn't say they have the smallest details, like for super small things, but I'd say like all of them were really crisp to me. So I'd give it like a 4 probably on my spectrum of sound effects, just with what they had.
Okay. I'd give it a 4 as well.
Next up, we have set, lighting, and costumes. What are your thoughts on these?
Well, they shot a lot of scenes outdoors, so it was like sometimes overly bright in certain shots, and the costumes were obviously just for the Tiger Mafia. They just had a bunch of dudes in random shirts and a guy in a Spider-Man mask. And for the Commandos, they just had dudes in camo gear. It was literally just camo T-shirts and pants, and then like plastic like scuba goggles around their neck, and like guns that didn't even look like guns. They didn't even look like water guns. It looked like a bunch of wood taped together and painted.
Very true. But I mean, the fact that like you detailed out, like the bullets that you guys see that are around their necks and the rounds, those are hand carved. That's made out of wood. And just the amount of work that went into it is insane on that factor. So, though they don't look realistic with what they had, once again, their ingenuity reigned supreme on this.
Yeah, they obviously couldn't afford to buy all sorts of fancy looking props and effects and only a $200 budget. Didn't this movie have like less than that? I thought it had like a $20 budget or something like that.
I don't know. I believe I heard $200, but we can check. We will check to make sure, folks.
Oh, it was $200.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah, so I don't think we can really give them much slack. But I mean, once again, they're still not the most impressive thing ever, but they kind of do the job that they need to do, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd give
other than the Shaolin monk just wearing a jacket and that's his outfit.
I'd say I'd give it like a 3 probably for all of that. The lighting was definitely overlit a lot of the time. That probably brings the score down for that. But I'd say 3.
I'd have to give it like a 3. It's like pretty decent for what it is.
Yeah. Final thing here, guys, is the film score, which we added from this week. And also, you guys can tell us what you think the film score of 2001: A Space Odyssey, which honestly is like a 5, like a perfect 5, because it's insanely well done. But for this movie, what do you think how do you rate the film score? 5 being you could listen to this for years on end, 0 being it's garbage.
Honestly, to be perfectly honest, this movie is so entertaining and funny that like I can just look over any of the flaws or bad things about this movie and just completely enjoy this. Like I can see myself watching this movie down the line many times over the years. So I have to give it like a perfect 5 for what it is.
Very
true. I can't say anything negative about it. Like it's just too funny and entertaining.
It doesn't take away from it.
the choreography is like actually pretty good in certain action scenes. It's actually really entertaining to watch.
Like, literally, guys, those fight scenes with Bruce Yu, Uganda's Bruce Lee, like, he seriously kicks butt. Like, I'm not joking. That was some well choreographed movements using the environment around him. Like, it was seriously good. That was great.
Very entertaining and very funny movie.
Yeah, and honestly, if we were to give it an overall score, personally, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 to 5 out of 5 because, like, though, like, it's not a masterpiece from the standpoint of Hollywood. It's a masterpiece in the standpoint of what they did with, and it's insane the lengths they went to create it.
Yeah, in terms of like low budget to overall quality and entertainment and just overall value, like ratio, this is probably one of the greatest movies ever made, considering it has such a tiny budget, but it's so entertaining.
Yeah, but overall, it's an amazing movie. And if you want to check it out, you can check the description. We will have linked their movie and their Patreon where you guys can support them. Go check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button for more in this series and the movies that we're going to be reviewing next. So keep your eyes tuned out for what we're going to be doing. And we will see you guys in the next episode of Critical Cinema.